Commissioner Poplawski,
Here.
Chair Ebian,
Here.
Commissioner Vice Chair Beth Michelle.
Here.
And that's it. All right.
Thank you. And Mandy, has the proper posting of the agenda been established?
Yes, it has.
Okay, so let's moving on to approval of minutes from the July 20th, 2022 commission meeting. Do any commission members have a comment about the minutes?
I'll move to approve them as presented.
I'll second it.
Before we do that, is there any public comment on this issue? No. Okay, so Ginny, you moved and Terry seconded. Do we actually do a person by person approval?
Yeah, we do roll call. Mhm.
Roll call.
Okay.
Okay, so Commissioner Poplawski,
Aye.
Chair Ebian,
Aye.
Commissioner Beth Michelle,
Aye.
and Commissioner Munoz.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Right. Next item is public expression. This is an opportunity for the public to address the commission on matters not listed on this agenda. Individuals wishing to address the commission under public expression are welcome to do so via email, Zoom, or voicemail message. Are there any members of the public here to speak? Doesn't appear so. Okay. Item 4, employee organization. Is there a representative from any employee organization here? All right, moving right along. Number 5, closed session. We have no items for closed session today. So let's move on to item 6, classification studies. And HR staff will present this. William?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. This is William Schertz, HR manager. So the first item that we have up is a modification classification specification of facilities and fleet division manager. Just to give you a little background on this, the classification specification for facilities and fleet division manager has been updated with current language and clearly defined duties and essential job functions. This was something that was brought to us at the request of the department. Minimum qualifications were also revised to align with the education and experience with other counties. And additionally, during the review process of the classification, the knowledge, skills, and abilities were modified to include additional competencies and to remove outdated language. There are no incumbents in the classifications that would be impacted by the proposed changes. And I do have Brandy, who is the analyst, HR analyst, that can answer any specific questions. And also, I believe we have Janelle Rao, the General Services Agency Director, available.
Commissioners, are any questions or comments?
I move to adopt.
I'll second.
Okay. May we have a roll call?
Chair Ebian,
Aye.
Commissioner Beth Michelle,
Aye.
Commissioner Munoz,
Aye.
Commissioner Poplawski.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, next item is to approve specification modification for employment and trainer workers supervisors 3, 2, and 1.
Yes, ma'am. William Schertz here, again, HR manager. So on this particular class spec modification, it is for the employment and training supervisor, training worker 3, 2, and 1. These updates include modifying the minimum qualifications in education and experience, as well as to include a valid driver's license statement as part of those requirements. As we've seen countywide, finding qualified applicants has been increasingly difficult. And by making these suggested modifications, social services has broadened its minimum qualifications, allowing greater opportunity for more diverse and equitable applicant pool. Other minor modifications were in the job summary, distinguishing characteristics, mental and physical abilities, other information. And we also updated the department name from Health and Human Services Agency to Social Services. We applied the updated template for these specifications as well. There are no incumbents in the classifications that will be impacted by these proposed changes. And so again, I have Brandy, and we also have Rachel Eagle Elliott that is available from Social Services if you have any questions.
Are there any questions or comments from the commissioners? Someone
No,
else?
I didn't have any comments.
I seem to remember when that was called social services once upon a time.
I mean, it's good to see that we're updating the experience requirements. I think, I mean, I didn't have any questions, and I understand the need to do that. So no questions.
Yeah, I wanted to make that same, point that same thing out, which is to, I'm glad to see that the qualifications modified without feeling like we're really compromising what's needed for the position.
Well,
So-
I'll move to approve them as approved. Can I approve the whole group? I guess I can.
Yeah.
I just made the decision to approve the whole group. So let me get back up. Let me get back up so I say it right. Oh, where did it go? Up. I'm sorry. So I move to approve I went too far. The specification modifications for training, employment and training supervisor, employment and training worker 3, 2, and 1 as provided or as presented.
I'll second.
May we have a roll call?
Commissioner Beth Michelle,
Aye.
Commissioner Munoz,
Aye.
Commissioner Poplawski,
Aye.
Chair Evian.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
All right, moving on to item 7, other business. 7A, request temporary suspension of Civil Service Rule 7, Section 2.A. And HR staff will present this item.
Good morning, Denise Bartolome, HR Manager. You have before you a request to temporarily suspend Civil Service Rule 7, Section 2A for recruitment of sworn public safety positions for a period of a year. This request comes from several conversations between HR and the Sheriff's Office regarding the critical shortage of sworn positions. Suspension of this rule would allow HR to share the name and contact information of applicants that have passed the HR minimum qualifications screening, but not yet taken the California Board of State and Community Corrections exam. The Sheriff's Office Professional Standards Bureau would reach out to all applicants and engage with them about the position, answer questions, and ensure that the applicants understand the exam process and any time expectations, of the hiring process. And the department has submitted a memo that includes their proposed outreach protocol, and that memo has been distributed to each of you and uploaded to the Civil Service webpage. The undersheriff should be joining us soon. He said he's in the waiting room.
He's in now.
There he is.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have any questions on the item?
I do. I'm not really sure what the Professional Standards Bureau is. Is that in HR or is that with the Sheriff's Department, or how does that work?
So the Professional Standards Bureau is with the Sheriff's Office. They conduct all backgrounds. They're a confidential office. They also complete all trainings and internal affairs investigations.
Oh,
So I guess my only question is whether or not, I think this is a great idea. And my only question though is whether or not it will affect applicants in any advantageous manner. I guess I'll leave it at that.
So are you asking, will it benefit them in learning about the testing process, or?
Well, let's say, there's a window in which a window of time in which applicants can apply. And so those, I'm assuming that earlier applicants would get this, I'm not sure what to call it, but this support earlier than later applicants, and whether or not that would make any difference in the hiring process.
The applicants will all be sent over once they're screened, so they will receive them, the department receives them at the same time.
Okay.
And so I also have a question. So certification. So I was reading, I went back and read it again this morning because I'm still unclear. So I'm looking at Rule 7, Section 2, Paragraph A, and it says that when, in this case, the Sheriff Department's requests for the certification, Human Resources provides a list of names and addresses of the candidates having the highest score. And so what are we, so you say throughout the recruitment, examination, and employment list process, Human Resources not allowed to provide names. But that section doesn't say you can't provide names. So what am I missing something?
So we felt that it also didn't say that we could prior to the eligibility, the employment register being created. And that's the list of names that once the applicants have been screened, they've had their testing, and then they become a candidate. What we're asking is to allow them to have applicant names prior to their exam, so they wouldn't at that time all be candidates, per se.
Got it. And so okay. And then, so what the Sheriff's Department is saying is that
Are you asking me a question?
They're going to reach out to them with a standardized email and include contact information. So they're just trying to liaison with those people throughout the process to make sure that the process is runs smoothly for that applicant, which I think is a great idea. But how are we going to guard against some discrimination during that period? So what's happening between the time the applicant fills out the application, they have this liaison with the Sheriff's Department, and the list gets certified. They're taking exams. They're doing both a written and an oral exam, correct?
Right now, it's typically just a written due
So
to,
just a written exam. Okay. And
With
HR is grading that, still HR would be grading that exam and then still certifying the list.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think my only concern is just that we're not, that this process doesn't begin to root out people or give people, yeah, I'm just, there's something that's raising the hairs on the back of my neck about this. Is this standard? Does this happen standardly in other civil service environments?
I did not look into that.
Well, it seems, I mean, this is a tweaking of the rules. They're suspending a little portion to try to get a firmer grip on the applicants, I guess, to work them around.
It's to help mentor them through the process. So what we're finding out, because of the time, how long it takes at times to get through the process, that they get confused. They don't believe that they have a buy-in from the county or the office. And all we're doing is giving them an opportunity to reach out, and we can explain to them the processes. We're not helping them in any way with the testing process. We're just making them able to rely on us for us to be able to tell them, this is the process. This is why there's a time constraint on this and this and this. So they have somebody almost, I don't want to say it like a counselor, but somebody that can assist them so they know they're not forgotten. They know the process is moving forward and it's continuing. Mm-hmm. And as far as regulations to make sure that we don't, that there is no change from applicant to applicant. Once this goes into protocol for us, law enforcement's a different beast as far as that goes. Once I give direction as the undersheriff to the office, they have to abide by that. If they don't, and they go against that protocol and say they assisted somebody in something, that could be a fireable offense. So, I mean, our people are very ethically and morally superior in that respect, because they have to be because of our profession. And so I don't see an issue there, because once it's in black and white and this is the way the protocol reads and this is what you will do, that's what they will do. They cannot vary.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, okay. I have a better understanding. Okay, thank you.
So I just wanted to follow up on my initial question. It says that the Professional Standards Bureau will receive contact information from county HR after recruitment closes and applications are vetted. And then using the contact information, the Professional Standards Bureau will reach out to each applicant, blah, blah, blah. So once the PSB, Professional Standards Bureau, receives this list of applicants, will all the applicants be contacted essentially at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. Because the list that the PSB received is, it says after recruitment closes. So the application window is closed at that point. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Other comments or questions from the commission members?
No. Hey, Art, you've got experience in public safety.
Lots of it.
What say you?
I'm going to abstain.
Hmm. Okay. I guess I can ask another question as to why the sheriff's office believes this might be useful. What are they basing what are they basing their hopes on this being useful on?
So for many applicants throughout the last year and a half, when our people reach out to these applicants, either ones that actually will go through the process and try and be hired, or end up going elsewhere or dropping out, we ask them, so how was the process? How could it be better? And they, a lot of them are confused. I was confused. I didn't think that I was a part of the process anymore. I thought it had dropped off. I wasn't being contacted by anybody. And I don't know if it's the new generation with that thought process to where they want to be, I don't want to say handheld, but they want information continuously on how this process is working. It stresses them, and to where they will drop out, or they'll be like, oh, I didn't know I was still in the process. Once we called them, I thought the process was gone. It had been 3 weeks or a month or whatever, depending on where they are in the process. And so I went elsewhere. And I think we could grab a lot more, because once you have buy-in from these applicants coming in and they see that we truly want to help them and push them through, they're going to have more of the buy-in to continue on in that process. Because some of our processes take, as Art knows, it takes months, especially for sworn. I mean, it could take anywhere from 2 to 4 to 5 months, depending on the background. So for them to be able to understand that process and our ability to bring them into the fold, so to speak, to show them this is what we're doing. If you guys have any questions, you can call us and we'll give you the answers that we can, but we'll show you how this process works. And I think that'll assist us in hiring. And we're having, it's a national issue, but in law enforcement, we're having such an issue getting people hired. We're trying to look outside the box and do whatever we can to get these people to stay with us and to move forward through the process.
Right. Okay.
So I'll move to grant the request of the temporary suspension of Civil Service Rule 7, Section 2A.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Clerk, may we have a roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Beth Michelle,
Aye.
Commissioner Munoz,
Abstain.
Commissioner Poplawski,
Aye.
and Chair Evian.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-1.
All right. Next agenda item, is there a director's report from HR? Human Resources Director's Report?
Yeah, we have a couple of things. So currently there are 27 class studies in the queue, and of those 17 are actually in process, and 10 of them have not been started yet. So you will see several things coming your way, which is nice. And William's in charge of all that. So, and then on the recruitment side, we have also been started to hold evening exams so that we can pull in on these writtens for corrections and dispatchers, so that we're able to reach people that maybe are working during the day that cannot take time off, and have them come in. And on one side, it's worked really well. We had a packed room. On the other side, it didn't help at all on dispatch. So, but we're going to keep trying that and see how that works too. We're just trying anything to get people in.
All right.
That's it, unless William has anything else.
I don't. Thank you very much. You covered it well. Thanks.
All right, well, I think we've covered our entire agenda. So I think we can adjourn the meeting at 9:26. 9:26.
All righty.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank
Stay
you.
cool.
Good seeing you guys.
Bye.
Stay cool.
Yes, thank
Bye-bye.
you.